Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We're finally back. Thanks so much for all of the chats. I really appreciate it. It feels like we got to catch up and play a lot of games. Welcome everyone to October 1982. Yes, it's still October 1982, and we were last playing Cubert, but that wasn't the last game we showcased. I'll just breeze by the last game we actually saw, and now we're on our next game. There we go. So our next release is Adventure. Just Adventure. That's right, the cutting edge game to play on your BBC Micro right now is Adventure, and I mean classic, like way back when Adventure first was created and called Colossal Cave. That's pretty much what this game is. Let's dive in, play some games in October 1982 with Just Adventure. Starting with the box. There it is on cassette. Adventure. I really like the front of the box though. It kind of looks like Adventure by Atari, but obviously this is going to be playing text adventure, not Warren Robinette adventure. So this is for BBC models A or B, and it's program power. That's right, program power. This marks the 20th game we've played by program power, and they're going to eventually change their name to micro power, but we'll enjoy program power for now. Looking nice. We're still playing everything on cassette here on Chronologically Gaming. Let's see the other artwork we have for Adventure. Just Adventure. That's all it is. It's just simple adventure. Just a few other things as far as the box goes. There's the cassette we're going to pop into our BBC Micro. Our parents were very high-end and bought us the BBC Model B computer. So you can see there's the code you got to type in. Chain Adventure to play. Thanks. It's all on the cassette. It's all on the cassette, so it's so easy. Anyone could do it, right? All right, so that's all we have. We have no manual to play Adventure, but we really don't need a manual, hopefully, to play Adventure. So here we go. This is Adventure by Jay Spilsbury. In the beginning, actually, this is October 20th, 1982 by Program Power. We have to type in just a little bit to get the game to run, but it shouldn't be that far off compared to all the other games we've seen. Nice. It tells us, are you a wizard? This is actually a slight nod to the original Adventure on Colossal Cave. This was 1976 when it first came out, so even though this is 1982, this feels like a throwback to play something this archaic like a text adventure game. This is also known as Colossal Cave, and we saw plenty of iterations of this through the years. Like it's been on mainframe first, so we didn't see it on the show since we don't cover mainframe games, but it's a text adventure game. It is the reason why there's text adventure games. That's how far back it goes. So are you a wizard? We're going to say no. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I want to say yes, because I want to show you what happens if you say yes. It says, what's the password? And to my knowledge, there is no password. So if I were to type in password, you're not a wizard, you're a charlatan, and the game is over. Your score is 98, high score. So there you go. The game just ends, and that's it. So I'm gonna boot up again. And play for real, but that's what happens if you try to answer you're a wizard. We're not a wizard. Just make sure you remember that. We are not a wizard playing adventure. We're loaded in. There you go. The objective is to bring the princess back to the Magic Caverns, and it kind of breezed through the front really fast because we're playing this a little faster than it would be in 1982. So are we a wizard? No. No, you're not a wizard. I know, right? You expect that, Pal Puck. Of course, yes, I should say yes, I'm a wizard. You're on a twisty north-south road. A landscape of forest lies off east and west. There's a red scarf discarded here. Oh, man, I can already feel the vibes of the text adventure. So the original was 1976, and there's another one in 1977. All this was mainframe. Then they had Mystery Mansion in 1977 on mainframe, and then another adventure in 1978, and then Adventure 2 in 1978, another adventure, and then on the show here, that was actually a home computer, was Adventure Land, you know, Scott Adams' Adventure Land. That one was the first time we ever experienced a pseudo kind of adventure, kind of Colossal Cave. So it's not new to us. We've played quite a bit since then. And then there were 4 more adventures just called Adventure in 1979 on mainframe, terminal, and the Ohio Scientific. But here on the show, all the titles we played that are just like this, bare bones, text adventure that played like adventure in Colossal Cave, this is the 20th game that we've played on the show. And remember, we don't play mainframe. There's a lot out there. Oh, it should have been that way. Jeff, the Apex Flipper. That's what I should have tried was Chrono. Maybe that would have worked for the password. So we did play Adventureland 5 times on the TRS-80 PC booter and lots of home computers. And then after that, we played Journey on the Apple II in 1979, then Apple Adventure on the Apple II in 1980, The Miser's House on PC booter in 1981, Adventure again, another adventure on the TI-99 in 1981. And then the Acorn Atom had Adventure in 1981, Adventure on the NASCOM, Classic Adventure on the Apple II, the original Adventure on MS-DOS, and then we played another one on ZX81 that was called Adventure, but it wasn't Adventure. I know, I'm already confusing myself too. And then we played Colossal Adventure on the BBC Micro in March 1982, and then Adventure 1 on the ZX Spectrum. And there's been so many games almost like Adventure, but we're saying the games that play just like Colossal Cave or just like the original Adventure, that's a variant, because we could say almost every, well, not every, but most text adventure games, if you go to get a treasure and you come back to a spot, that's like Adventure, because they're all based on this. This is where it all began. This is where the craze of adventure games came from, just right here. But we're playing it in 1982, so keep your standards in check there. The last one we played that was kind of like Adventure was Mystery House, the one by Micro Cabin in Japan on the PC 8801. And so this one, though, is still nothing new to us. This is our 206th text adventure game we've played on the show. That's how many text adventure games we've played, or games that you could play like this out there. And this is our 28th game to play on the BBC Micro. So here we go. Let's play some adventure. So what we're going to do is, after we say no, and we're in the twisty road, let's go ahead and head south. And I think we can we just say S? Oh, no, it's one of those. It doesn't understand S for south. So we have to say, I want to go south. You're near a left luggage office, and a winding road runs off north, and a lamp lies discarded here. It's always a lamp. It always starts with a lamp. We have to have a lamp. So let's go ahead and get it. We know we're going to need it. There's no grooves here. We're not playing Zork, but we still would need a lamp. Okay, so after we get that, let's go ahead and head west. It's already losing brownie points if we have to type the whole cardinal direction. I like my adventure games fast. W, west, south, S. You're in a dense forest. And indeed we are. Let's go north. You're in the tangled undergrowth of a dark forest, so it just got it worse. Also notice the lack of sound. So to put a little more perspective of where we are in time, this is not cutting edge, obviously. The cutting edge one in the United Kingdom you could play right now is The Hobbit on the ZX Spectrum. That's the cutting edge adventure game. So I feel sorry for the kid that their parents bought them this instead of The Hobbit, because then you're playing this bare bones text parser has to work on. That's true. That's true. It could be worse, Curtis. We could be saying the whole sentence and then it would register it. All right, so after we head north, let's go ahead and head west. Make sure you're making the map. Uh-oh, you're lost. And there's dense forest all around you. Oh, great. All right, let's head south. Hopefully I'm not really lost. You're in a clearing in the forest, and an axe lies on the floor. Oh, get that axe. Got it. Now, do I type INV for inventory? There it works. You have the following the lamp and axe. Okay, so that's pretty good. We didn't have to type the whole word inventory out. All right, so after that, let's head east. You can see near you clearing. Yes, we can. All right, so let's go east again. Yes. You're in the tangled undergrowth of a dark forest. As I'm exploring this on Chronologically Gaming, we now follow walkthroughs, so I'm not completely lost in the dark with these games. If you want to look back on the previous videos when we first played Mystery House, it took about 20 minutes to open the door. So I'm hopefully sparing you spending 20 minutes trying to figure out the text parser. But this one is not as archaic as some, so this one is not as bad. We've seen some two-word text parsers that have full sentences for everything. So it gets a little points, but not too much after that. All right, so after going east again, let's head south. You're in the twisty north-south road. A landscape of forest lies off east, and we ST, and we stop. There's a red scarf discarded. Okay, so we're back where the scarf is. Got it. I feel like I should get the scarf. Even though the walkthrough doesn't tell me, I'm going to go it. Maybe we should oil those hinges too. Okay, we got the scarf. Can I wear it? I do like to try things that, I don't understand. You can't be creative right now in 1982. All right, so ignore the scarf. We have it. Let's go ahead and go north. From there, you're near a closed cavern entrance. A road runs off south into the distance. So the majority of games that are like this, or adventure-like, Colossal Cave-like, you go find treasure, you bring it back to another spot, and you get points for it. And so what adventure games started to do from 1976 until now is add things that happen, puzzles that happen, events, an actual adventure. Because before it was just go get something, come back, you get points. It's all about points in 1982. So this is doing the exact same trope. And at this point, we played plenty of text adventure games that go way off the rails. Lots more to cover and see, lots more puzzles. I'm looking at Zork. Zork's one of the best right now. We played Zork 3 already, so this one is not doing anything new. All right, so we're at the cavern, and how do we open? Let's try open cavern. Road runs off. You cannot open cavern unless you speak the magic words. Does it work? It does. So where you find the clue for this is really the question. You would essentially have to just keep typing and trying different things. That would take a long time to figure out. I started to see Brian throwing out rating in the chat. We'll get to the rating in a sec. Yeah, I'm with you there, Brian. A stone block rolls open. You're in the cavern entrance. A path runs off north to the caves. Through the cavern entrance south, there is a road. Are you carrying a lamp? If I say yes, what happens? Oh, it's a rhetorical question. I don't think we've had a text adventure game ask us a rhetorical question. All right, can we light lamp? Maybe that'll work. Your lamp is on. Nice. Okay, so we're in. Let's go ahead and say... That's funny. The walkthrough I'm following says to say yes, like answer the question, even though it didn't do anything. Okay, so let's light the lamp and let's head north now. There's a rock pool here. Water is falling in the pool through a hole in the rocky ceiling. A stream runs off in the dark and you see a little green frog. Nice. Can we kiss it and it turns into a handsome prince? Or maybe a princess, depending on which game we're playing. All right, so green frog. I don't know what to do with the green frog. Can I pick it up? Get frog. No way, I have it? I do. You can pick up the green frog. Now, I was gonna try to be macabre and say use axe on frog, but I think we need it for something later. Okay, so after that, actually, oh no, it says kill frog. The green frog turns into a beautiful princess and runs off. Maybe that's the princess we need to find. So we were supposed to kill. So you were supposed to think about killing the animal. Just terrible. No, Hunter. Then we wouldn't want to kill it if it's really Frogger. Amazing. All right, so there you go. That the frog turned into a princess, and then the princess is run off. Which I'm thinking that's the princess we need to rescue or deliver, since it's an adventure style game. Now the Colossal Cave games that we played that are close to this are like taking tropes from the actual Colossal Cave. The lamp that you find in the shed, getting things and bringing them back. But then we found games that go further beyond that. They do more than just the easy stuff like that. I know, Obsidian, isn't that brutal? We played a few other games in the United Kingdom that are like this, that are text adventure games that are so cryptic. It's so, I don't know how you figured this out. The things that, how would you know to kill the frog? And by the way, it didn't ask what to use. Usually I ask, what do you want to use to kill it with? Did we kill it with our bare hands? We didn't even use the axe? That's so terrible. Hey, thanks so much. Glad to be back. We're in October. It's October 20th, 1982, and we're playing on the BBC Micro Adventure. Just Adventure, as it says in the top left. Okay, so Princess runs off, and now let's go ahead and head east. You're in an immense hall with a floor of a dark rock. Path into the adventure lies east. However, you can't go back west. Why not? Why can't we go back west? Near you, you can see an empty wicker cage. All right, so let's avoid the cage. Just ignore it. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. I'm glad you think it's one of your favorite shows. I love it. Yeah, thanks, Hunter. All right, so you can see how this text adventure is playing out. It is very, very classic. And in 1982, it's funny to call something from 1976 classic, but this is still classic. You can play a lot better text adventure games, and hopefully this doesn't make you think that the adventure games of this time in October 1982 are like this, because they are not. Oh, yeah, right? I'm with you there. Yeah, why we need to go rescue the princess? Good point, Jen. That's what we should do. Just leave her to her devices. She'll be okay, right? All right, we're going to stop there with our little taste of adventure on the BBC Micro. Of all the games you could be playing right now in October 1982, this is not new. This is not fresh. I was going to say, because this version that we're playing, by the way, the first version doesn't even have a win screen, a victory screen. When you get to the end and the princess is rescued, nothing happens. it's actually like a miniature glitch. So there is a redone version just a little bit later that you can get. So it's like a patched version that does have an ending, like an ending screen. But if you got this right now on October 20th, 1982, and played it, you wouldn't see the end. That's how. So I'm going to say because it was patched, I won't go all the way and say broken, but this is not a high quality title of all the games you could play right now on a home computer. Oh, I see Jeff throwing out 3. Nah. So yeah, Manly, sadly it is. I'm going to say because it's nearing the broken side and because we played lots of other text adventure games that are more robust, have more puzzles, and more meat on the bone, I'm going to go with 2 stars. Of all the games to play across all home computers, this one's a 2. Yes, that's true, Brian. Yes, it's not nothing wrong with it, but yeah, because of that error and it gets patched later, I'll say nah, it's not super amazing considering the other games we could play. All right, with that, let's see what our next game is. Yes. Coming up next is the Nintendo Game & Watch. Let's go to Japan and play Donkey Kong Jr. for the very first time as a portable handheld. So exciting. Take a look at that. And look, it's Mario wearing very oddly colored clothes, at least from modern standards. But there's Mario, and once again, like we saw in the arcade, he is the bad guy. He's brandishing a whip. He locks Donkey Kong up. And at this point, the Mario Donkey Kong franchise, I am referencing it as different series, but right now they're the same thing. Everything that had Donkey Kong has Mario. They're not their own thing. Donkey Kong and Mario are kind of a team, at least when you think of the IP that Nintendo has. So there you go. Donkey Kong, Nintendo Game & Watch. It's got that rectangular box so we can pop it open and play the game. I know, right? I love the Nintendo Game & Watch. This one marks our 21st game that we played from the Nintendo Game & Watch, the handheld system. And this is the only system besides those standalone consoles that Nintendo's done. And these are great. I've been loving all the handhelds. Really, really nice. There's a very crude back of the box giving you some instructions. Now, the first release that we're going to be seeing is the Japanese release, but then later it was released in other regions all over the world. So cool. He does look like with the colors, but it doesn't exist. It's just Mario. Only Mario right now. All right, let's take a look at the manual for Donkey Kong Jr. There you go. That's how you play. This is the manual explaining everything of what the screen is, and for a handheld, it actually looks really good. It's done very well, and bear in mind, it's one screen. We've already played the Nintendo Game & Watch that flips open and has 2 screens. So this one's their newest. This is called their new widescreen series. So this is the first game of the new widescreen series, and this is the 5th series of Nintendo Game & Watch games we played so far. This one is the 33rd game that we played that Nintendo has published here on the show. So 33 published video games, and I mean all video games, not just Game & Watch. There's only 33 published Nintendo video games out there across all video gamedom. It's amazing. All right, so this explains a few of the things that we'll see on the screen, how to play, or what the things on the screen mean, basically. And then it is Nintendo Game & Watch, so you can set the time. We won't be doing that on the show. We're just here to play the game. Yeah, we don't need to set an alarm. It's nice that it's there, but the gameplay is what we're here for. How do you play? Mario has Donkey Kong locked up in a cage. Junior goes to help his papa. He has to evade Snapjaws and attacking birds and open the cage with 4 keys. Now, the control's interesting because on Donkey Kong Game & Watch, they were using the directional pad. But look, this one does not have that. It has 4 buttons shaped like a directional pad. But the D-pad, that's the future. That's what really pushed the Donkey Kong version over the top. It was the very first one to have that control scheme. That's how you move around, and this one is really nice because it's a handheld that's a platform, which is pretty good. It shows you how to play between game modes A and B, like other Nintendo Game & Watch games. The difference between A and B is whether you can hang on the vines or how long you can hang on the vines or not. And if you push them at the same time, which is kind of nice, if you push A and B, or game A and game B, it shows you the high score. So it's saving that too, which is really nice. And then it breaks down the points there. And you can see here it's showing the controls because you're controlling Donkey Kong Jr. And as he moves around, he can jump up and grab the vines. The graphics of the vines are provided with overlay. So the only thing that the Game & Watch LCD graphics have is little Donkey Kong Jr. bouncing around. But you can see the Snapjaws that are down below. Nice. Yeah, and there you go. So showing you some tricks, how to do things from the arcade. So this is fairly new as far as a video game goes. Donkey Kong Jr. is really new in the arcade. And so to have it as a handheld would be a big treat, like Christmas. Maybe you got it December 1982 for Christmas, but here it is fresh right in Japan. So if you make it to the very top, you get that key, then you go to your papa and unlock him because Mario's just an evil villain this time, and you have to save your dad. And I'm not going to go through the whole manual, but you can take a few frames, pause the video if you want to see what it's like. All right, let's go. In the palm of our hand, we're going to Japan to play Donkey Kong Jr. This is October 26th, 1982. Yes. Donkey Kong Jr. Now, at this point, the Donkey Kong and Mario series, the official Donkey Kong and Mario series, this is the 9th game we've played on the show so far. And it was first Donkey Kong in July 1982 in the arcade, and then we saw Donkey Kong on the Game & Watch in June 1982. After that was Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600, and then ColecoVision, and then Donkey Kong Jr. in the arcade, August 1982. After that, we had the, yikes, Mattel and Television Donkey Kong in October 1982. And here we are. That's the whole series of Mario and Donkey Kong. That's all that's out there that we can play. All right, so I'm going to go with Game Mode A, and we're in. So as Donkey Kong Jr., your controls, you can see over on the left side, allow you to move left and right. And then when you want to jump, you have to push the jump button, which is a little obscured. It's right here above my shoulder. And what you do is to go down is you just push down. So the up really doesn't do anything right now. But you can see at the top we have a key that we have to collect to rescue our papa. And what I like about this is the other handhelds that are fairly simple, this one's combining lots of elements. It's a platformer, and this isn't the first time we played a platformer as a handheld. This is the 5th handheld platformer that we've seen on the show. And a kind of variant of Donkey Kong was another one was called Wild Man Jump that allowed you to run around and jump, because doing this as a handheld is brand new. This whole concept of platforming is new. So since I did Game Mode A, when I grab the vine, I hang on a long time as Donkey Kong Jr. before he eventually falls off. I do like, though, this idea, which was made it fun in the arcades. You go from vine to vine. That was the new cool thing about it. And you can do the same thing here. It doesn't show the same animation, you know, where he grabs from one vine to the other, but still looks pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe you did buy this. Did anyone buy a Nintendo Game & Watch for the timer or the alarm to wake you up? It'd be really funny if you bought this for a parent or something. All right, so you can see right here, I should be able to jump. Die. Oh, that's right. I got to climb up here. I think. No. How do I get the key then? Uh-oh. Let me jump there. Yeah, can't climb to the top. All right, I'll figure it out then. Let's see. Oh, don't fall off the side. So the vines only go so far. You have to stay on the log. Can we go in again? Okay, hit Game Mode A. Very unforgiving. So he does have a jump that he can fly over the top of the snap jaws. So, oh, no. Got to time it differently. But this mechanic of avoiding enemies, you know, jumping to the top, avoiding someone. Can I move and jump? Oh, that's it. That was so cool. It's like a running jump on a handheld. I don't think we've ever had that. Yeah, thanks, Pal Puck. Yeah, aren't the sounds quaint for a Nintendo Game & Watch? When you do Game Mode A, it's a lot more forgiving because you can hold on to the vines longer. That's so cool, though. And then it repeats just like that. So the only downfall to this is, well, maybe you could call it not a downfall, but the single screen compared to Donkey Kong as a handheld. And then the other thing is, this is all that there is, this same screen. We've already seen a few handhelds that have different scenes. Tron is one example. You go from the light cycle scene to the MCP blowing it up. So this one is just one scene, and you repeat over and over again. But what's cool is, aside from other handhelds that do this idea, you know, one screen with an overlay, this one is incorporating lots of elements, you know, like climbing from vine to vine. You can platform, you can jump, and it doesn't feel like I'm doing a time waster. This actually feels like it's a game, an arcade game that I'm playing. Yeah. Go. Got it. And I think that's the best part right there. Being able to move and jump to the end is awesome. What I don't know is, oh, I see now. The up and down is only utilized right here. So it feels like feels like there's a missed opportunity for the controls. But I'm probably speaking because we played Donkey Kong and it uses that directional pad. Man, it's still fun though. All right, so here on the show, we rate every video game based on the category it's in. So this is not going to be rated against the other video games on consoles or the other video games in the arcade. I mean, think about it. Donkey Kong Jr. in the arcade is amazing. Better. I mean, different scenes, lots more gameplay. I keep missing poor Donkey Kong, and you can see the miss Donkey Kong Jr. Poor Donkey Kong, indeed. He's stuck in his cage. Let's see if I can get him. Got double hit. Nice. So it is slightly timed input, but it doesn't feel as much of a time waster as other handhelds. So it does have that going for it. So much fun. Yeah, high marks. Now, the question is, of all the handhelds you could play right now in October 1982, and remember the tabletop Coleco are out there, what would you give Donkey Kong Jr.? There it is. That's the most satisfying part. That's awesome. All right, there you go. Some gameplay, some fun. I didn't do game mode B because all it essentially does is you just don't hang on the vines as long. You can't sit there and avoid the enemies for a long time. All right, so I'm looking over the chat. Oh, I see some not quite 4s. Oh, I see Charlie throwing out 4.5 stars. So just so if you haven't been on the show before, our 5-star rating system is based on what you would rate the games at the time. So if you tell yourself this is a broken game, then you're somewhere around this range of 1 star. I wouldn't call Donkey Kong Jr. a broken game by any stretch of the means for all the handhelds. But if you tell yourself this is a bad game, you're somewhere around the 2-star range. Like, this is a bad game. Somewhere around here. If you say this is average for all the handhelds you could play right now, you'd be somewhere around the 3-star range, somewhere right here. If you say this is a good game, great game, excellent game, above average game, then you're somewhere around here in the 4-star range. If you say this is one of the best handhelds you could play right now in October 1982, then you'd be somewhere around here in the 5-star range. Oh, yeah, 3 for only 1 screen from M. Tiskey. Yeah, 3.5 to 4. I'm actually going to say not necessarily that we could play every handheld. We're trying to play every handheld, but this is still an excellent game. Yeah, I like the presentation, the sound, and if you had this would be a lot of fun as far as a handheld goes. And it does do the justice of the gameplay for Donkey Kong Jr. in the arcade. So I'm going to go 4 stars of all the games on a handheld, at least right now. And you know what? It's also a good thing about this. It's that new widescreen version. It is smaller, so you can actually not waste batteries, cost, and it can be a little more portable than those other Coleco tabletops. All right, and with that, let's see what our next title is. It's time to play on our Intellivision. This is the latest, and it's called Sharp Shot. Let's check it out. Sharp Shot. Here's the box for Sharp Shot. Now, this is a redone box because Intellivision, they really didn't want to put this out. This game was not impressing the television execs. And so if you look in the top right, this box added a little blurb saying specifically designed game for children over 4 because it's deceptively simple. It has lots of things happening on the front, lots of action. I mean, look at this. We have robots. There's a pink blob, a battleship, football. This actually looks like a box that a Japanese developer would, or Japanese publisher would make to appeal to North American audiences because it looks just cool and action-packed. Oh, yes, but yeah, there's nothing, there's really nothing much to this one. So I'm going to flip it over the back. Sharp Shot is 4 completely different games, and it's for 1 or 2. Oh, it even says younger children there, too. They're really hyping about, because the reason they're saying younger children is not that it's like for early childhood, it's because they're just very easy games. If you were trying to play something like Advanced Dungeons & Dragons on Intellivision, this is not your cup of tea. This is very easy. Yeah, I want to see how sharp you are. That's what they say. Great contest for young children. This game is only on Intellivision, and this marks our 47th game that we've played on this home console. Let's see what other art we have for Sharp Shot. I'm already excited because I just like Intellivision. We've had a few duds since it first was released, but it came out of the races kicking. It was so good. Okay, so there's our overlay. We got to make sure you slide that over your hand controller before we play. And there's our 4 different games. It's very easy. You push the game you want to play, and then there's only one button. It is on each side of the hand controller, but that's it. Oh, there is in here, Charlie? A Gorf clone. Cool, let's check it out. There's the cartridge we're going to pop into our Intellivision. An example of one of the games as the screenshot. We also have the manual for Sharp Shot. It's funny that it calls it a color TV viewing only, and the manual is all in black and white. There's some screenshots of all 4 game modes, and we're going to be some games we take turns with another player. Some games we can play at the same time. But it's game mode 1 is touchdown passing. You throw the ball, a football pass. Game mode 2, space gunner. Game mode 3, submarine. Game mode 4 is maze shoot. So our controls, after we slide the overlay down, very easy. Just fire the button. Either use left side or right side, and the disc will start the action for you. And then it shows how to play each game. And actually, I'm not going to go through the manual or read the manual. I'm just going to show you how to play it. So here's game mode 2, how to play the game. Game mode 3. And it looks epic based on the graphics and based on the box. So this could have duped a lot of people when they went to the store to buy this. I know the screenshots really, I'm with you, Charlie. It feels like these screenshots were getting people to buy the game, and I bet there's a lot of returns. Underwhelming. Probably another one of those examples of video game console not giving people what they wanted. All right, let's pop it and play Sharp Shot. This is by Frank Evans. Way to go, Frank. Published by Mattel Electronics, and October 28th, 1982. So we're going to go with the first game. This is football passing. I'm going to push number 1. Now, football passing, you push the action button. Oh, I'm sorry. You move your disc. Then you push the action button. You're supposed to make contact with the blue players. If you hit the red, you lose points. But all I'm doing is pushing one button, and I'm not moving. I can't move the football player. That's all I'm doing. I'm like really just one button. Boom. Oh, well, unless I get sacked. So the gameplay is extremely simple. This would be a really fun game to play if you had youngsters around, but considering the other games we played for home consoles, this one isn't doing all home consoles justice at the time. There's a lot more games you could play out there that are higher in complexity on home consoles, a lot more fun. It's like we're just timing it right. Oh, nope. So if the red guy does come in contact with the football, then he's intercepting it and trying to run back. That's right, Charlie. It feels that way, right? It's really, really simple gameplay. Nice shout out about WarioWare. I don't even know who is this the second time Wario's been mentioned in the chat tonight? Wario doesn't even exist. All right, so let's go with the other game mode. I'm going to reset. Flip that console switch, and let's see what Space Gunner is all about. So Space Gunner, you can play 2 people at the same time. I'm taking control of the right side, and all you do is you push the button at the right time. The disc does absolutely nothing. I cannot move the crosshair. So I didn't even want to classify this as a space combat game or a space combat simulator because you just sit there. The crosshair just sits there, and all you got to do is wait your turn. I don't even think, is there a penalty for missing a shot? Let's see if I just keep firing. No, it's just keep, you can just fire nonstop. It's so easy. It's a very easy game to play. Oh, another one, Manly. Yeah, the Flash games. I hope I don't have to worry or contend with those games later. We don't have to worry about that for a long time. All right, let's do it again. Reset. Let's see what else we have on this package. I can just imagine a dad buying this at the store, like thinking, this is going to be football or something fun. And he just keeps trying the different game modes and getting more and more disappointed. All right, let's push number 3 on our keypad. This is Submarine. And Submarine, here you go. I'm the submarine down at the bottom. And this is kind of like a Seawolf or Shooting Gallery variant. I have no control of the sub. So it already loses points there. But the sub is moving left and right. How many points can I score within the time period? And all I have is... Oh, I get firepower. I thought it was 1 torpedo at a time. Nice. Okay, so I can fire away. And I still don't... Yeah, I'm still not losing points for missing shots. It's not something crazy hard like sabotage. I'm looking over the chat. This is not the way games were meant to be played in 1982. This style of game, the one-button game, is not the first time we've seen this either. This is our 10th game. 10th video game we've played that have single button. But you have to admit, you are getting 4 games. So this is like the, whenever the video game crash happens, this is the bargain bin game that has bargain bin games included with it. Hey, that's true, Manly. It is deceptively simple, but it would be good for someone of the right age. All right, so let's go ahead and reset. You saw how Submarine works. Let's go to Maze Shoot, which looks graphically the best. Going to push number 4. This one you can play 2 people at the same time. So same thing as before. There's an arrow moving back and forth, and I'm on the right side, just like I was with the Space Gunner game. And it does offer simultaneous multiplayer play. So even though the gameplay is simple, you are playing at the same time. And this has a ricochet feature, which is kind of cool. So it's like I actually like this one. This one's the most fresh idea, at least when you think of shooting gallery style games. It's still one button, and the arrow is moving by itself. All I'm doing is timing my button press right and trying to get as many points as I can and beat my opponent, who is not playing right now. So if you did pick this up, you'd have to have someone else to play with. So it has a single-player mode, but if it's the 2-player games, there is only that mode. Let's do this one. See that? I love it. So yeah, Ricochet's pretty cool. Yeah, Maze Shoot would be the winner of all the titles on this one, if you want to call it the winner, but still pretty good. Yeah, Hunter, right? Non-gamers. That's a good point. This is the kind of game, very rare for someone to be that kind of gamer, but if it was a mom or a grandmother or someone who wasn't a video gamer and just wanted something very simple to play, this one, pop it in play, something easy, get a few points, see if you can get your score higher, and it works. It's graphically looks good, sounds good, right? Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like an Intellivision game. Yeah, I'm with you there too, Steve. All right, so there you go. That is the latest on the Mattel Intellivision, not showcasing the best you could play on the Mattel Intellivision, but still all right. So of all the games you can play right now on home consoles, there's a lot better out there. I'm really interested to see what the chat has for this one. I see Manly throwing out 2.5 stars. Yeah, enjoying the graphics. That's right, Charlie. You'd be demoing this in the store. And maybe that would encourage you not to buy it or see if it would want to be bought. So I see 2 stars there of all the games you can play right now on all home consoles. Now, this game was originally designed for a TV show where you could call in and just say a word like zap or pow, and it would play the game on the TV show. But I haven't found reference to what that TV show was. So if anyone knows in the chat or in the comments below, let me know where Sharp Shot originated from, where it came from. So yeah, 2 max, 2.5, nice, yep. Sharp Shot. Now, I did like the comments that people said about the other players, like designed for certain people, but I can't give this a rating that really is an average. I want to say a subpar, considering all the games you could play on a home console. Yeah, it makes sense why it's so simple if it was used for just saying one word. But this isn't the game they played exactly for the TV show. It was something different. So of all the games you can play right now on a home console, I'll be slightly more generous because in the chat, when y'all brought up the demographic that's not myself, I'm with you there. So I'll say 2.5 of all the games you can play, but that's as high as I can go. Looks like Jeff's with me on that one, but majority of the chat's rating down low. 2 stars, or saying bad for all the games you can play on a home console. All right, it's time to put our video game playing on pause. Thanks so much for joining me on the comeback for Chronologically Gaming. We're still going to be playing all the games in October 1982, and coming up will be all the video games released at some time in October 1982. Next time on Chronologically Gaming is one of the best pinball games you could play on any home computer and another shooter for your Atari VCS. That's it for today, and like I always say, sometimes you play the bad guy. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you next time.